What is the Bible? The Bible. It's one of the most important books ever. It talks about big questions, like why we are here. It has inspired people to accomplish great things, though it has left others puzzled. You likely have a copy of it at home as well. What is the Bible, then? It's a set of books that grew out of the history of ancient Israel. In many ways, they were similar to other old cultures. However, within their community, there were unique figures called prophets. The prophets viewed Israel's story as extraordinary. They believed it revealed what God was doing for all people on earth. These prophets were also incredibly skilled writers. Seriously? Yes, they used the Hebrew language to write amazing stories and beautiful poems. They were experts at using words to create vivid images and tell powerful tales. Their writings tackled tough questions about life, death, and the struggles we go through. So, was this book written by multiple people? Yes, and the process spanned over 1,000 years. It began with the account of Israel's origins in Egypt. Then it talks about when Israel had kings and built their first temple. But then the Babylonians came and took them away from their home. Later, some Israelites went back to their land. They constructed a new temple and started to figure out who they were again. This period marked the time when the Jewish Bible began to take on its current form. So let's talk about the Jewish Bible. What's inside? In Hebrew, it's called the Tanakh, a name made from initials. The T is for Torah, also called the Law, which is Israel's 5-book story of how they began. The N stands for Nevi'im, which translates to prophets. This part tells Israel's story from the prophets' point of view and features their poems as well. The K is for Ketuvim, which means writings. This part has poems, wisdom books, and more stories. The Jewish people believe that God spoke to them through all these writings. Were there other writings from that time as well? Yes, numerous other books were created, and they held great importance to the Jewish people too. People have argued for a long time about whether these books should be part of the Bible. So, there are many books written over a long time. Why are these books grouped together? They all share a big story about how God is turning the world's mess into something beautiful and organized. The story points to a future leader who will come to fix everything. But by the end of the Tanakh, this leader hasn't shown up yet. Wait, does the story not have an ending? Exactly. Then, a few hundred years later, a man named Jesus of Nazareth came. He said he was continuing the story from the Tanakh. Jesus did many amazing things, but he was killed. After that, his followers said he came back to life. They believed Jesus was the leader who would save the world. So his followers, called apostles, wrote more books about Jesus. They named these books the Good News or the Gospel. They also wrote the Book of Acts, which tells how Jesus' followers took the message beyond Israel. In addition, they wrote letters to Jesus' followers in different parts of the world. And they believed these writings were part of the Bible. The apostles thought their writings were the next chapter of the big story from the Tanakh. They followed the same writing style used in Jewish tradition. They believed that, just like the Jewish Bible, God was speaking to his people through their writings. This gave us the Old and New Testaments. But what did early Christians think of the other Jewish books? Different groups had various opinions, but we know they appreciated and read them since they kept them with their sacred texts. Right, so there's the Tanakh, the Jewish Bible. Then we have other books from that time. And then we have the apostles' writings about Jesus. That's quite a few books. So what's included in my Bible? Over the last 2,000 years, Christians have read these books in various ways. However, from the start, everyone agreed that the Tanakh and the New Testament were both part of the Bible. For a long period, many Christians also read additional Jewish writings. The Catholic Church officially accepted some of these as part of the Bible and named them the Deuterocanonical books. Some Orthodox Christians include even more of these Jewish writings in their Bible. In the 1500s, during the Reformation, Protestants decided to focus on the oldest books from the prophets and apostles. So they accepted only the Old and New Testaments. But how do all these books, written over so many years, come together to tell a single story? We'll find out in the next video. We think the Bible is a single, connected story that points to Jesus and offers valuable lessons for us today. We're making a series of videos to show this. This is the first video in our new series on how to understand the Bible. You can help us create more videos by subscribing to our channel. We aim to reach as many people as possible, and your support makes that possible. Thanks a lot, everyone. Thanks.